Yeah, massive whakalofala here too. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you who are tuning in. My name is Glen Jackson. Welcome to ROCKsteady live and direct from Niue, the Rock of Polynesia. Niue Nukututa Hamata Maka Pacifica. Firstly, our gratitude and thanksgiving goes to our Father in heaven for the many blessings and making this possible and being in this beautiful country of ours. And yeah, welcome to the show. So this is ROCKsteady Live, but every time we come on, there's going to be a segment. And tonight's segment is TALANOA, so which is basically our definition of podcasting. So welcome to ROCKsteady TALANOA, and we're going to get straight into it. Please put your hands together. Big round of applause for Mr. Hekesi, who was doing this applause in the background. Amazing, amazing. Awesome. Whakalofala hia te kia kai matakitaki.
Whakalofala hia te kia kai malene.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to ROCKsteady TALANOA. I'm grateful to have you on the show. Yeah, so basically this show is all about profiling local entrepreneurs, local builders, local tangata Niue that live here in Niue. So I'm very humbled to have you on the show and to be our very first guest on the show to be part of TALANOA. So please, handing over to you, introduce yourself, your name, if you're married, if you got any kids. So yeah, welcome to the show. Whakalawatu.
E whakalawatu ma lene kai pihe fuki kia mutoro wasi tau hakang he motu. Kua nonofo wiko ai ke lalainga kai pihe fuki hara tolo mutu tau sinai ko Niue. Lahi whakau ke he whakaloanga nei ma lene kua mai ke kai ke whakatu. Ke latai mo he tau tangata kua nonofo wiko ke he lalainga ke mai ke anono mai ke he motu nei hara tolo. Mo ki sai whalu tau whakaloanga. Men haia kua manako ke whalawhala whakamua ke whangahau hara tolo he motu. Whingi tātu kia mutoro wasi. Taka pisinga kua nonofo wiko. Ko e hingo hako ko Albert Hekesi. Nofu au ke he maanga nei ko alofi ko e hako tau mamatua ko Lasalina Jackson hako matu dani ko Vihikula Solomona mai he maanga ko mutalau ululau ta. Awesome. So are you born and raised in Niue? Yeah, tell us about yourself from way back in the days, and not that far because you're not that old. You know, you're a very young man here. Thank you for that comment, Glenn. I was born in Auckland, and we stayed in Otara, Preston's Road.
Otara 274.
Yeah. And we grew up there with our a family of 7 with our 2 parents, and then the folks decided to return back to Niue, and we came back to Niue in 1975, and we've been here ever since. Well, I've been here ever since. Did a bit of schooling in Aotearoa.
Where did you go to school? Where did you go to school in Aotearoa?
I went to New Plymouth Boys.
Oh wow!
Played quite a bit of rugby there too, because it was a rugby school. Played for the first 15 and did a little bit of touring around New Zealand.
Wow!
It was a good experience.
So back then, when you went to school in New Plymouth Boys, were there a lot of other fellow Niueans at the school with you?
There were quite a few of us. They went on a scholarship program. We managed to go back then for a Form 6 scholarship.
Wow.
Then on to Form 7. And then from then on, if you were successful in your studies, then you'd go on to tertiary education.
So what was your plan from school to what you wanted to do outside of school, after school? What was your career path?
I think just like any other Niuean kid, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do by the time I got to school C. But I eventually became a teacher.
Awesome. And
then finally I got into carpentry, which I think I was supposed to do. Just trying to follow, I think it's in my blood, following Grandpa Joseph Jackson.
Right.
All the building that he's done. And so I'm still doing a bit of building, but trying to slow down.
So how long have you been building for? What's your building career? How's your building career been?
The first house that built was our own house that we stay in at the moment at Makaihi or Makamaihi I Peta. And I stay with my beautiful wife, Ida. I just like to give her a special, beautiful mention to
Oh, sorry about that applause there. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we have our 2 children staying with us, and then the building started just to take off. It was pretty slow at the beginning. Built a few houses here and there around the island, and now we have a lot of younger builders on the island, and so I'm trying to just move away a little bit and do
Right.
the lighter work
Sure.
and give all the bigger jobs for the young ones coming through.
So now you're saying you're starting to slow down with the carpentry. What's the next phase for you?
I still have the love of carpentry, and I love joinery, and also probably get into some craft work.
Right.
And try to get an income from that. My wife says maybe we might not make enough money out of craft work or joinery work, but I'm going to prove her wrong.
All right. So this coronavirus, this COVID-19 that's hit us, what have you or your family have been doing to kind of adjust to the changes that's happened locally?
I think because we don't have it here, I think life is much easier and more free than a lot of the countries around the world, especially in New Zealand, which is very close to us, and we're very lucky that we don't have it here. But we are still observing a lockdown for some people, social distancing for some people,
Sure.
elbow or fist bump in meetings. So it's a way that we are trying to practice just in case it does get here.
So prevention is better than the cure kind of approach. Musician, you're a very talented musician. Where did it come from? How did it become part of your life? And where are you as of now?
I think it came from my parents, both mum and dad. And mum always says that she was a musician too, but dad was also.
Yeah.
I think a musician that we pretty much got it most from. I love them both and what I've gained from them. And just being a muso along the years, learning from other people, not just my folks.
Sure.
I might have picked it up from them, but I've learned from my siblings and also all of the other musicians around the island. I look at their work and I look at the achievements that they've done. Some of the older songs and their children who have songs now, and I appreciate the music that I have because it's another way of talking or communicating to other people.
Could you count on hand how many songs you've composed for people to dance to? Because you've written a lot. Composed a lot of songs.
Yeah, there have been quite a few, but I can't remember on the top of my head. And at the moment, I'm still composing because Island Pride. As you know, we're planning for another CD, and so hopefully we'll have that ready for the next TALANOA festival. All
right. So speaking of Island Pride, being part of the band for such a long time, we'll go back to Manufolo. So they were happening on the island at the time, and for those who don't know, Island Pride started in 1994. And the gear that we got from we purchased from Manufolo, what were you hoping to achieve from? Was it just kind of following like what Grandpa did and what our families had done before, and an opportunity to kind of really engage as musicians?
Yeah, really thankful back then because we had the band Sunburn Kiwis with Dad.
Right.
But by then our gear had diminished so quickly and so badly that were very few items to play with.
Right.
A set of drums, I think it was only a bass drum and a snare, then it just went down to the bass drum. And then for a short while we went without equipment, and then at that time Manufolo was selling their gear, so I contacted Dean Douglas.
Yes.
And I managed to purchase the gear of Manufolo. I didn't have all the money.
Right.
And he was happy to let me take it off his hands.
Cool.
That I would I'd pay him the rest later. So I'm really thankful for Dean Douglas and Manufolo and their band, what they had done back then. And allowing us to also follow on with playing live music and eventually composing music.
Right. That's awesome. So we're going to cut to a commercial break. We want to say massive whakalofa here too for those who are just joining us. Joined here with the man himself, Albert Hekesi. Really appreciative of you joining us tonight. So we'll be back after this little commercial break. Don't go nowhere. ROCKsteady, your go-to for all things multimedia. Telecom Niue 4G. All roads lead to Manato Cable 2020. Scenic Matavai Resort, a taste of paradise. Rosa's Bakery, the best coconut bread since 1951. Stuff IT Niue, Niue's IT specialist. If you can't fix it, stuff it. Thumbs Up Cars NZ, free delivery anywhere in New Zealand. If you're planning to build your dream home, make sure you plan with Stone Solutions. J Love Sounds, providing a sound system for your corporate or private function. Double M, shop with a difference. Pacific Way Bar, where the beer is always cold. Makanet, the best ISP in Aotearoa. Kendras Kollection, with thousands of new $3 range in store. Niue Bond Store, providing your favorite beverages and your duty free. Moko Central Mart MCM, your wholesaler and retailer grocery shop. Kaika, your sushi and gourmet cuisine, the best in the Pacific. Yes! Whakalofala here too. Welcome back to ROCKsteady TALANOA. I am joined by the one and only Mr. Albert Hekesi on the show tonight. For those who are just joining us, whakalofala here too. Welcome to the show. We are podcasting straight live and direct from Niue, and we hope that you are tuning in. We cannot see the stream live while the messages and who are joining us from that side, but whoever you are and wherever you're joining in from, whakalofala here too. Greetings with all our love. So yeah, bro. So Niue into the future. What is your plans? What's your plans?
Niue in the future, I think my life just maintains here on the rock.
Yep.
Just living here peacefully, freely, managing to do a bit of work, make enough money for our family, and I don't see myself going anywhere else other than living on the rock.
Could you pinpoint to what keeps you here? What drives you to stay here? Like, obviously the world is your oyster, but you tend just to say, nah, I'm not going anywhere, I'm staying in Niue.
I think it just comes down to wherever Ida is, I'm going to be.
That's the right answer. Oh, awesome. So you got two beautiful children, Javan and Quinn, and being a father, what's it like to be being a father and raising your family here in Niue?
It's been great being a father, just seeing my children grow up, and I always think about their safety and their security, especially when they're here on the island. I try and teach them as much as I can of life here on Niue and life that they might expect going overseas, because when we're gone, they should have enough experience for themselves.
Right. So you're going to be a craftsman in the future, just another way to kind of semi-retire into building. What are some of the things that you love to build that that kind of keeps you busy?
Well, I like to build or to make any Niuean craft work. I haven't managed to master all of them yet. I'm still trying to find out that there are other items of Niuean craft that I haven't seen around for quite a while, or I haven't seen some.
Right.
Displayed. I mean, I've seen some in books and on the net, and other people might have some. So I'm trying to revive other pieces of craft, so we can revive those. So our generation can learn that there are some things here that we have on town, on our island, that shouldn't be forgotten, just like the language and songs and other things.
So what about crafts? So obviously you growing up in New Zealand and moving to Niue in the 70s, how were you adjusting to the culture, and then obviously where you are right now, where it's just fully immersed, it's who you are, it's what you make, it's what you share. How was adjusting that from coming from New Zealand?
It was, I think it was just like any other child, like moving from school to another school, but actually we moved from New Zealand, the New Zealand scene, living up in Otara, and then coming back here to Niue. And so, of course, I knew a little bit of Niuean and understood it because the parents spoke it. But it was a big cultural change. But I just morphed straight into the life here, and I really I really loved what life had to
Right.
what life had to give here, living here on Niue, and which came down also. Well, firstly, I guess was the language. It's to learn the language, and the only way that I found to learn the language was to speak it, even though you made mistakes here and there. People may have laughed at you, but the only thing is, if you want to learn to speak Niuean, you have to speak it.
Very true, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, but we are speaking English just due to the fact of a bigger target reach to everyone that's tuning in. But I'd just like to acknowledge this guy for always pushing the Vangaho language in the music, and which is so I want to say thank you because my music being bilingual from Island Pride was a massive reason why I'm still doing bilingual now, and I love it. It's the point of difference. It's the point of difference, and so instead of waiting for legends to die, my brother, I need to salute you now, as a living legend, and we should do that also. So I really appreciate what you have done, not just for me, but for our new music industry, which is very small, but it is there. Yeah. Did you have any final thoughts before we close up for our first part of the night?
Yeah, just to add to that about the Niuean language and the Niuean being, we have those who have a lot of knowledge of being Niuean. And then we have our new generations who don't really know, or some who don't know at all, of the Niue customs or the Niue being. And that's why it's good that we actually use both languages as a teaching tool, speaking Niuean and speaking English that they can understand. And eventually, and so the young ones can also learn it, even though we might teach it through English and Niuean.
That is amazeballs. That is amazeballs. Right here on TALANOA. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, big round of applause for having Hekesi on the show tonight. Our very first podcast for ROCKsteady TALANOA, live and direct from Niue, the Rock of Polynesia, in the heart of Pacifica. Cheers, my break. Easy. So we're going to go to commercial break. We're going to be, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this. Cheers. ROCKsteady, your go-to for all things multimedia. Telecom Niue 4G. All roads lead to Manatua Cable 2020. Scenic Matavai Resort, a taste of paradise. Rosa's Bakery, the best coconut bread since 1951. Stuff IT Niue, Niue's IT specialist. If you can't fix it, stuff it. Thumbs Up Cars NZ. Free delivery anywhere in New Zealand. If you're planning to build your dream home, make sure you plan with Stone Solutions. J Love Sounds, providing a sound system for your corporate or private function. Double M, shop. ROCKsteady, your go-to for all things multimedia. Telecom Niue 4G, all roads lead to Manatua Cable 2020. Scenic Matavai Resort, a taste of paradise. Rosa's Bakery, the best coconut bread since 1951. Stuff IT Niue, Niue's IT specialist. If you can't fix it, stuff it. Thumbs Up Cars NZ. Free delivery anywhere in New Zealand. If you're planning to build your dream home, make sure you plan with Stone Solutions. J Love Sounds, providing a sound system for your corporate or private function. Double M, shop with a difference. Pacific Way Bar, where the beer is always cold. Makanet, the best ISP in Aotearoa. Kendras Kollection, with thousands of new $3 range in store. Niue Bond Store, providing your favorite beverages and your duty-free. Moko Central Mart MCM, your wholesaler and retailer grocery shop. Kaika, your sushi and gourmet cuisine, the best in the Pacific. I'm trying to get a hold of my next guest. So, Inangaro, if you are tuning in, please give me a call and we will go from there. And but in the meantime, we want to say warm welcome to each and one of you who are joining us here in Niue. We are coming live and direct via ROCKsteady TALANOA, so really appreciate your time joining us. Actually, while we're trying to get our next guest, we might as well keep jamming on with the bro. Who's still here? Oh, you're still here.
Yes,
you're still
waiting for you.
Might as well just give you another pause. But yeah, so TALANOA is a program where we hope to engage with a lot of our local entrepreneurs and our local businessmen and even our politicians to have a platform they can engage on a different platform to communicate, and hopefully in the near future that this could be a new way of television and televising what is happening here in Niue. So you being so young in your age, technology, how are you adjusting to technology, and where do you see it for us in Niue, even though we're so isolated away in the Pacific?
Before we go there, I just wanted to give a special
do it
mention
Kiai.
to the private sector and what life is like in the private sector, and those who are planning to get into the private sector, is that it's not easy for the private sector here on Niue to have a business. Or some of you might think it's easy, but some it might be difficult or tricky, and might not go as how you had planned. So the only thing is you have to make it work, and you have to have a really good go at it, and don't give up. If things go sideways, if things don't go as planned, don't give up. Just keep going and keep at it. And I'm sure that everyone has stamina to pull through any glitches that might happen in their private sector business world. So all of you out there, especially you young ones who are going to get into the private sector, it's a really good thing, and you make a lot of money.
What?
Technology is what we're looking at tonight, and this is how
that's cool.
This is happening here tonight because of technology. I think along the years, everyone has grown up with technology. It's just that it's changed.
Sure.
Yeah, so way back then, when I was a little bit younger, there was technology around, and there were the cassette players, and
some of you young guys won't even know what a cassette tape is, so that's all right.
And now we have all the songs and files and videos on a device or on the phone. And I think the technology has made it easy for everyone to communicate. And it seems like they're just sitting right over there, talking to you, either by video or by a phone call. And for me in my business, because I also do a lot of research online and do a lot of reading, Mr. Google has the answer to everything. And I'm very thankful for the Palangi who made a Mr. Google. So I can just punch in anything on the keyboard and question of any type. And it's a really good learning tool that you can use. I know there are a lot of bad things on the net, but if you're out there looking for materials, looking for info, everything is there on the net, and I think that's a major gain for the change in technology that we have. Especially
for us being so isolated in the Pacific, and technology is here. It's like people, for some crazy reasons, still assume we're walking around in grass skirts.
That's really true, because I remember one of our nephews came to the island probably 10 years ago.
Even 10 years ago, look at that.
About 10 years ago. And he rang us from Moko and he said, hey, Uncle, when we get to the airport, how are we going to get back home? And I said, oh my gosh, we're not that bad. But I told him now we're going to go by horse and cart, and then we'll get home. But everyone thinks that, I don't know, everything is still back 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of the matuas that come over also, like grandparents and the generation back coming through and saying there have been a lot of changes here on the rock of Polynesia. And they didn't think that it would be like this. And then they come here and they see all the development and things happening and say, I can't remember. But now there's nothing there,
yeah.
And there's something else, and that's because of development. And that has been a good thing, and I love it how development has been slow for Niue. I don't know.
So
people
true.
might say
So true.
slow is not good, and we wanted to work faster.
Yeah, very
But
true. Very true.
For myself, the rate that that Niue has grown, I've liked that steady curve, because we don't want too much technology all in one go, and we don't want too many tourists coming through.
Sure.
Well, that's how I feel anyway.
Sure. Really, really cool. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're not saying goodbye. We just had, if you are wanting to know anything more about Mr. Albert Hekesi, his business Stone Solutions, and the Stone Villas, please drop a message in the comments, and we will check them later on. And of course, any other questions that you might have in regards to the brother over here. And so once again, whakalofola hia tu ke matolo sa homai ke whakisi mai hamatolo mangaho ke lato mo ki whanga ne he Facebook Live whakalofola hia tu. And I want to tap back into the young ones, as you mentioned before. Very, very true. Our young ones are very, very tech savvy, and I feel we might miss a window of opportunity to engage with them, to keep the language, to keep our taonga, without holding them back, or without taking their phones off them, taking devices off them. You have kids, and how do you try to find that balance?
Yeah, a lot has changed. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was saying that it's really hard with the youth and trying to get them work savvy.
Yeah.
They're workhorses.
Yeah, right.
And that's all they do, and that's all they know.
Yeah.
And I tried to, I took on some young workers, and I found it hard to see them
to motivate
slacking
them,
a bit. Slacking a bit is like, man, I just really want to smack their ears. So I was talking to my friend the other day, and he says, you know why? Because they didn't get the teachings that we got when we were younger.
Yeah.
Your parents say something, they say it once, and you do it.
Yeah.
And it was work. I mean,
oh, yeah.
It was like morning till evening.
I remember.
Morning till evening. But today it's different process, different life. And you might say, actually, back then that they were silly to work from the morning till the night time. But, that was their life.
True.
And, the thing is that they loved it and they enjoyed it and they got a lot out of it. And that's what was passed on to the next generation.
Sure.
And that's what seems to be missing from this generation to our younger youth. It's not easy dealing with the kids and with all of the devices that they love to stay on.
Oh my gosh!
From morning to night and every 7 days a week. So I try and I have to find a way to drag them out of that cycle without giving myself stress. Because I hear people are like going, because they're always on the phone, and they're all stressed. And I say, come on, man, we got to find a way.
Yeah, find that balance.
Yeah, to try and pull them away. I put down the phone and I'll go and get that lolly.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of ways that you can make it work. You just have to have patience. But the old school Niue, there's no patience.
No patience.
Yeah. Just talk once, boom. There's no patience.
No patience.
That's why there's this difference. All you grandchildren, you and your grandparents understand the life that they used to live and how they were brought up with their grandparents, and you now. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And that's why the grandparents like snap.
Yeah.
It's
very, very true, because it's two generations apart.
That's right.
And so I'm a grandson to mum, my nana, Albert's mum, but I was raised with Albert and them here in Niue, so I was able to kind of have built my own relationship with Nana, with mum, and so it's almost, I'm seeing it with my kids and how mum communicates with them. She finds it a little bit hard. If she doesn't like her way, she sends them home because like, okay, it's two different generations apart, and it's just again, with grandparents coming from a very old school horse power, working way, horse workers, and it's very, very strong. And then you got our tiki savvy TikTok kids
who know everything.
Oh, they know everything. Oh, too good to know everything. But yeah, I think our next guest is available. Let me just read what she said.
Come on, Ina.
Sorry, I missed your call. I just woke up from a nanny nap.
That sounds right.
Oh,
sorry, Ina.
If it's okay, so I'm gonna give Ina a call right now, and let's see how we go. Let's see if I can get her on. Hi Ina, can you hear us? Hi Ina, can you hear me?
Yeah, long one.
Oh, awesome. Let me just turn that up again. So, firstly, big round of applause to our first guest of the evening, Mr. Hekesi, aka the craftsman, the entrepreneur, the musician. Oh, awesome. For our show, ROCKsteady TALANOA. It's been great having a TALANOA with you. And once again, for all those who are tuning in, if you'd like to know more information about Hekesi, find them on Facebook, drop them a message. Especially if you're planning to build your house. So that's the catchphrase that I put for Stone Solution, was if you're planning to build your dream house, make sure you plan with Stone Solutions. Oh,
Stone Solutions.
You like that? Yes. Put air horns in there. All right. So we're going to cross over to Ina. Ina, are you there, my friend?
I'm here, so sorry.
Awesome. How was your nanny nap? I believe you had a bit of a little headache there. Hopefully you're doing okay now.
Yeah, I'm okay now. Had a few Panadols and then, all good to go.
Awesome. Firstly, whakalavala here to kia kai, kia orana, and hope you are well. Well, obviously you had some Panadol now, so glad you joined the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Ina ngara whakawhio, all the way from Wellington, the capital city of Aotearoa, New Zealand. We're going to pass the time over to you now and give us a breakdown on who you are, what you've been up to, and where are you residing right now in the world.
Okay, thank you so much, Glenn. Falafel here to everyone. My name's Ina, and I'm Telecom Niue in Cook Islander. I have been living in Wellington now for about 6 months, and I left Niue almost 2 years now. Even though you leave Niue, you never really leave Niue, because you take Niue with you now, and that's where I am at the moment.
That is so awesome. So I know you're very, very patriotic about Niue and living here and being here. This trip, and that's taking you to Wellington. How did it come to be, and what are your plans down there, and what's your occupation down there?
Well, when I left Niue, I left to come to New Zealand to finish off studies. So I used to work for the Broadcasting Corporation of Niue back home, and I had been working there for more than 10 years. When I came to New Zealand, I was staying in Hamilton with my brothers, and at that time I was also doing part-time work with the Pacific Media Network, working for the PMN program, and with Farmer and his team. From there was an opportunity that came up for a job, a full-time job, and I thought, okay, that would be the next challenge. So I applied for that, but the thing was, I didn't know that the job was in Wellington until they okay. So congratulations, you got the job, but it's in Wellington.
Wow.
And I had I think it was 3 weeks or so to gather myself and relocate. And at the time, it was fortunate that my dad and he had just come back from Samoa, and as we do when we're trying to make big life decisions, we always turn to our family.
Sure.
And as long as you get the heads up and the thumbs up, then all is good. But I never expected to be in Wellington and in New Zealand, living in New Zealand. So yeah. That's in the journey.
That is so crazy. And so what do you do? So you're the producer down at 531 PI for PMN. Is that correct?
Oh yes. So PMN actually has 2 radio stations. They've got Niue FM and 531 PI. And the thing that I loved about 531 PI is that it has 9 language programs.
Wow.
You know, it's all about Pacific, culture and language. And the fact that I spoke, a language fluently is what gave me the opportunity to even become a producer with the network. And yes, I'm really enjoying it. It's different from what I was doing back home, but I've taken all those skills that I learned while in Niue and just applied them in a new setting. And just the fact that I get to still serve my community, but just in a different way. So when I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going away from home. I'm going to miss my family and friends. But I still get to serve the community.
You are amazing. That is an amazing story and an amazing journey. Okay, so now you're in Wellington. It's cold down there. It's windy. How are you adjusting, the island girl? How's the island girl adjusting to the big smoke?
Yeah, the best thing about, growing up in the islands is we learn to adapt.
Yes.
And
Mori.
I miss the paru. Yeah, to be honest, I miss the food back home. But the city itself, it's actually really artsy, it's a very vibrant community down here as well, and there are a lot of Niueans. And I found that when I got here, I landed, it was like, where are my people at?
True.
So I was thankful to the Niue High Commissioner and his family because they took me in. And then from there, I joined the Kilburnie Presbyterian Church, the Niuean branch of it.
Yeah.
And that's where I got to meet a lot of the Niueans. So, yeah, it's been a lot of, things to learn, navigate your way through and also adjust. But, if you're going to head on a journey, you've got to adjust the sails, right?
Sure.
And just go where the wind takes you. And there's a lot of wind in Wellington.
Well, it is absolutely positivity, Wellington, windy Wellington. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So you and your crafts, you are a very talented craftsman in your own right. And wherever you go in your own projects, if it's for work or for community, you always have something in your hand that you're making and producing. So how did you pick up all these skills? And obviously growing up in Niue, but you've kept it with you. You're one of the queen of the four foes, if I may say. Your skill sets. How you been keeping up with it?
Well, growing up in Niue, I never really realized how fortunate we are that we have access to, the fountains of knowledge, our tupunas, our mamatuas, going to primary school and high school, and craft is a subject, right?
Right.
And it wasn't one that I was particularly great at, but I always gave it a go. And when I moved here, we don't have the same resources. But I find that when you're making the fofo or a kahoa or, anything crafty, it's always with a purpose.
True.
Because you're making your costumes for the dance group. You're making something, you're decorating Auntie's restaurant. You've got to weave, you've got to...
Talos, shout out to Talos!
You've got to something together. Yeah, so all of those, community things that you join in back home, you think it's a chore, but you come here and everyone wants to learn how to do that.
So
and for me, being away from home, that's like, that was my cultural therapy. So when I would miss home, I would sit here and plait something, and by the end of it, I'll have a full, and I was like, so whatever troubles I had or challenges in that day, it kind of like flowed away once I completed the item.
Right.
And then I'm like, man,
very true. All right, so we're going to go to commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about you and the future in Wellington and where does Niue look like for you, yeah? Talk soon.
Hi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are tuning in, welcome to the show, welcome to TALANOA. We are on our last commercial break for the evening, and we'll be right back. ROCKsteady, your go-to for all things multimedia. Telecom Niue 4G, all roads lead to Manatua Cable 2020. Scenic Matavai Resort, a taste of paradise. Rosa's Bakery, the best coconut bread since 1951. Stuff IT Niue, Niue's IT specialist. If you can't fix it, stuff it. Thumbs Up Cars NZ. Free delivery anywhere in New Zealand. If you're planning to build your dream home, make sure you plan with Stone Solutions. J Love Sounds, providing a sound system for your corporate or private function. Double M, shop with a difference. Pacific Way Bar, where the beer is always cold. Makanet, the best ISP in Aotearoa. Kendras Kollection, with thousands of new $3 range in store. Niue Bond Store, providing your favorite beverages and your duty free. Moko Central Mart MCM, your wholesaler and retailer grocery shop. Kaika, your sushi and gourmet cuisine, the best in the Pacific. Whakalofala here too. Welcome back to the last roundabout of our TALANOA session this evening. My name is Glen Jackson. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. And still here with me also is stuff bro Albert.
I'm still here.
Yeah, security on the other side wouldn't let him go, so I thought, just come back and jump back in and we'll have a catch up. So thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate that. So crossing back over to Ina. Kia orana, kia orana.
Kia ora.
Awesome. So yeah, what is the plans? How long, or obviously if you don't know the duration of what time you have left in New Zealand, and what are your plans for the future?
Well, my plans are, always changing because life happens.
Sure.
But it's been really good during this time that we've been in lockdown because, it gives you time to just reevaluate where you are and what's happening back home. So I do plan to come back home soon, hopefully,
sure.
when the borders open. But I still have a few things that I need to complete, especially with my family here in New Zealand, completing, those papers that I came for, and also the other commitments that I have at the moment with the community here in New Zealand and with our youth, our young people here. And I've always been really passionate about development and encouragement for our young people, and also reconnecting them with our culture and our language, because once you know who you are and where you're from, you will be able to know exactly where you want to be. So where you are now and where you want to be. And I haven't quite got to where I want to be, but I will come home soon.
Awesome. And with your husband, eh? Or your two boyfriends?
Nah, they're all my cousins.
Wait, what? Your husband's your cousin?
I'm joking.
Oh, way.
Sorry, that wasn't you, man.
Well, we are all related anyway, so it doesn't matter. Who cares? But hey, coming from the little place called Wellington, Ina, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and being part of the show. The first TALANOA for ROCKsteady via Facebook Live. I really appreciate your time and really appreciate your talent and who you are and what you represent for our new community out in the wider world. So, whakaullahi, and I really appreciate it. Final comments from yourself, Ina.
Yeah, whakaullahi ma lene hakua tuku mai mga aho moe mai longa fuki hao tau lalianga ki langmatai fuki hata tula mutu. Thank you so much for having me be part of your show, and I'm really excited for what's yet to come because, I think this was something that you were talking about how many years ago, and finally, it's come to fruition. And it's been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to just see how far this can, go, especially trying to make it happen from Niue. Oh, that's something in itself. So thank you so much, and also to all our Niueans worldwide. No matter where you are, we always carry Niue within us, and we are representation of the dreams that our tupunas had. And may you eventually find your journey back to the rock.
You are awesome, Ina. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless until we catch up. Kia, e mawehe.
Haia, whakaullahi.
Mawhalepo.
Koe.
Oi.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping up our show. And oh my gosh, this guy's still here. The sound you need is this one. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? There's a bit of a...
It's a choo-choo train.
It's a choo-choo train. But thank you, Ina. Thank you, Albert, for joining me tonight. It's a blessing to know that we can utilize technology to our best ability to fuse our talents and fuse our skills with technology. And this is probably the cool side of technology, if I might say so, where this is the side where we can engage with you, our viewers, on a global scale. If I can call Ina Ngarovakafi via this platform from Wellington, that means we can contact anyone on the other side of the world. So we can contact my mate of mine living in Denmark, and we can converse about life in general and just what's life like over there. So that's the opportunity that we hope to take. So we're going to wrap up our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys had a good time like we did. We're the only two here at the resort at Matavai. Matavai, you are awesome. Thank you so much for allowing to be one of our major sponsors tonight, and also to our major sponsors, to Telecom 4G Niue. Yes, that Manator cable is about to go live. It's going to get crazy. So as we say goodbye, we'd like to acknowledge, if you can see the poppy in the corner of our screen next to Albert's head. Yep, that poppy is of course for Anzac, to all our soldiers who served and who died and sacrificed themselves for our freedom. And the opportunity in that freedom is to do platforms like this. So we are very grateful, and we salute to every single one of you, those who have gone on and those who are serving in the army, in the navy, and yeah, please God bless and look after your families. So much love to each one of you. So in saying that, this is how we're going to wrap up our show. We're going to do an outro video, and that's a shout out to our Anzac, our soldier, men and women soldiers. So, whakaulahi, ai mawehe, atolu ki whireweia. Let us!
Remembering our Anzac Day, our brothers who went from Niue. It's a special time, it's a really sad time, but real special. Okay. All the families, all the sacrifices. I play this and salute you guys.